And good morning and welcome to the VSA Couple of 5 Minute Morning Miner. And it is hot, 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 and it's still getting hotter. Ollie, how are you doing?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks. How are you?
Well, I'm actually at home today. I'm having a virtual ascot in my garden because it's just too hot to be into the office.
Very nice.
Yeah, well, it's been a long week, and frankly, these markets are so horrible, you don't even want to look at them anyway.
That's true.
But we have to carry on trying to work. We're all in business, and investors still want ideas. So I don't think there's an awful lot this morning. I think we had a trading update from Glencore. One thing I noticed from that before you comment is they said that they thought the commodity markets would go back to normal soon. I'm not quite sure what they mean by normal.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's this sort of, supply chain issues and logistics problems. I mean, the thrust of that update talking about how much higher their coal premium is in Australia compared to the benchmark. That highlights those problems. Really, their normal guidance that they should get a premium of about $30 a ton over 175 that if the forward curve is benchmarked there. In the first half of this year, they're expecting between $82 and $86 a ton over an average of $318. The Australian government is the Australian government overall is considering blocking coal exports, and New South Wales have actually said you've got to sell it to domestic power stations before it goes overseas, showing how tight this market is. And I think that's really what they're getting at, is these logistics problems and supply chain knock on. They're hoping that should normalize, but you've still got very low inventories, and all of the new supply that's coming on to meet the strong demand is being impacted as well, because you've got cost inflation of capital projects, delays on equipment, everything's getting slowed down in bringing new projects on. It's going to keep prices high.
We're all getting bogged down. It ain't going to change over the summer, but who knows? Maybe we'll come back in the autumn and it will all free up. Obviously, the war in Ukraine and the zero COVID in China are the two biggest issues there. Anyway, any other news you got this morning, Ollie?
We started the week talking about directors' purchases, just noting the Camel CFO, Gavin Farrar, has exercised some options, and non-exec director Mike Prentice has also been buying in the market.
Well, that's quite interesting, because Mike was obviously a top fund manager at BlackRock before he became a non-exec of Camel. I mean, it's interesting, Camel. I mean, funny enough, I was round with them the other day having a chat about various things, which I'll keep to myself. But actually, although people say it hasn't done a lot recently in terms of acquisitions, of course, it's generating cash like I don't know what. And the stock price has been actually very steady. I mean, it hasn't gone down this year much. I mean, it's down a tad. So it's an outperformer by miles. So all credit to Camel.
Yeah, and it took a while for the market to realise that they were going to have record earnings last year and record free cash flow. And it just shows that fundamentals do come through eventually.
It is one of I say one of, I think it is the best run sort of mid-cap mining company out there. Tremendous management team there. Anyway, there you go. Can't say more than that, can you? One more bit of news. What else I think I've got a little bit. Haven't you got something in lithium, Ollie?
Well, yeah, there's a announcement out from Weardale Lithium. I'm not quite sure how private companies do RNSs. It's grayed out on Investigate, but it's still there. It's not one I've really looked at before, but looks like they are trying to exploit the geothermal brines in the northeast, in County Durham, around a site that was previously drilled as a potential test hole for a geothermal plant, and now similarly to Cornish Lithium, they're looking to extract lithium using DLE around those brines that are circulating on the granites, but they've received funding from the UK's Automotive Transformation Fund, just short of £700,000. But at the early stage, that'll be a significant bit of investment for them. But yeah, there's more and more UK exploration companies appearing. It's all pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, that they are actually right next door to Northern Lithium, which is run by Nick Popple, and Richard Morecambe is the sort of founder. I know Morky pretty well. He'll be at Africa today with his horses. And look, there's potentially in the northeast there around Durham a lot of lithium brine, as there is down in Cornwall. Cornwall, you've got the China clay pits, which you've got three players there: British Lithium, Cornish Lithium, and actually Imerys, who are the key to it, because they actually own all the China clay pits. Basically, if you look at Cornish Lithium and British Lithium, they basically just got process capability. Cornish Lithium have a tiny bit of land, but it's tiny. The key to me within this industry, of course, is the processing up to battery grade lithium, where you need, a sort of 99.999% lithium hydroxide, not quite that high. And obviously, we think that Alchemy Capital, which is listed in the London market, who we act for, will be the processor, because they got the Tees Valley lithium plant, which obviously you've been to see, Ollie, haven't you? And that's actually very close to Durham.
Yeah, it's Middlesbrough site just outside the Tees port. So and amongst all the other chemical factories up there, Huntsman, Sabic, there's a bit of a agglomeration of leading chemical companies there. So right in amongst all the know-how and infrastructure, I think it's much easier to do something like that there than it is on a remote Salar or wherever you are in Africa to produce battery quality lithium. Transporting something else to a converter is probably easier for a miner, particularly as there's not that many people in the world who've got experience of producing a high quality battery grade product, and you can see it so quickly in the pricing, how quickly the price drops off if you're just short of that benchmark.
Yeah, I mean, it is, and it's a lot of chemicals and things why you want it on a chemical plant and not out in the middle of the beautiful countryside. But there is this concept that you make a lithium sulfate on site, and then you ship the lithium sulfate to the high grade battery processing plant. But, anyway, there we go. A bit more on lithium. Ollie, that'll probably do. People want to get on. They want to get out in the sunshine, go and get their bets on. Oh, sorry, that's me. I'm sure we'll speak again next week.
Yeah, enjoy your racing.
Thanks, Ollie.